Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Drinks with Dave, and today we're gonna make a modern classic that's bold and simple and popular and very delicious, and it's called the Gold Rush. It's basically a riff on the classic whiskey sour, but it swaps out the sugar for honey syrup, which gives it a smoother, more rounded sort of flavor. Now the drink was created back in 2001 by bartender TJ Siegel at the Milk and Honey Bar in New York City. And if you're not familiar with that bar, it's legendary as far as its impact on the early 2000s cocktail revolution. And I think that the Gold Rush really represents that bar's entire vibe at the time, because it's no fuss, it's balanced, and it's approachable. And I really mean it when I say no fuss, because it's only 3 ingredients. This drink is super simple. It's got bourbon, lemon, and honey. But don't let the simplicity fool you, because when these ingredients are mixed together properly, this drink is awesome. Now for the whiskey, today we're gonna be using Elijah Craig 12 year. This is the same bourbon they were using at Milk and Honey to make the drink back when it was first taking off. It's 94 proof or 47% alcohol, so it's got enough kick to shine through the other bold ingredients that are in the drink. And that brings me to the next ingredient, which is the honey. And for this, we're gonna be using a honey syrup. And honey syrup is simply honey and hot water, you mix it together, you make a syrup, and it allows for you to add that flavor to a drink. This honey syrup is a 3-to-1 ratio, which means it's 3 parts honey to 1 part water. If you want to know exactly how to make it, I have a video. I'll put a link in the description down below, and you can check that out. There's some people who like to use a 2-to-1 ratio, a little bit less honey, because they feel like it gets in the way of the other ingredients, but I'm going with the classic, and we're gonna stick with the 3-to-1. And for the lemon juice, it's pretty cut and dry. Fresh squeezed lemon juice. So you can squeeze this ahead of time, or you can just squeeze it directly into the drink, just like we're gonna do today. So that is it for the ingredients. And as I said, this is no fuss, very approachable. It's just bourbon, lemon, and honey. Now this is a shaken cocktail because it's a sour style drink. But before we get to building it, the first thing that I like to do is start with an old-fashioned glass. And we're just gonna add ice to it to temper it, chill it down while we make the drink. And I like to use one nice big cube. You don't have to, but I've got a lot of clear ice I need to use. And once we have that ice in there, we're just gonna set this aside, let it chill down, and we'll begin with a shaking tin. And we'll just start adding our ingredients. So we'll start with our Elijah Craig, and we'll add 2 ounces of bourbon. Then we'll add our honey. We'll add 3/4 of an ounce of honey syrup. Again, 3-to-1 ratio. Then we'll add our lemon. Just cut this guy in half. We're looking for 3/4 of an ounce. We're just gonna measure this in our jigger and add 3/4 of an ounce to the mixing tin. Then we'll just add some ice. And once it's iced up, all we have to do is give it a shake for about 10 to 12 seconds. And we'll grab our glass that's been tempering and double strain the cocktail. I like to use a double strainer just because I don't want any of those ice chips in this drink. Right over. And this drink doesn't really need a garnish, but I've still got half a lemon from squeezing earlier, so we're just gonna cut a little lemon peel. Give it a little twist, express some oil, and drop it right on top of the rock. And that is a Gold Rush. No fuss, balanced and approachable. Yeah, it's surprisingly smooth and balanced. It's got a very sour-ish sort of vibe. I mean, it's bright. That lemon really brightens the drink up. And then you have the sweetness and the complexity of the honey, which gives you a little bit more of sort of a warmer vibe than just regular sugar. It's that 3-to-1 honey syrup. It just cuts those tannins down, so it makes the drink just feel a little bit more welcome to the palate. Yeah, I mean, for 3 ingredients, this thing just has tons of flavor. I think it's one of those cocktails that every single whiskey lover should probably have in their back pocket. I got a request from one of my viewers to start rating the drinks at the end of the video on a scale of 1 to 10. And I thought that's actually a really good idea. Now, I haven't built out a criteria yet for this, but just considering all things with this drink, the simplicity of it, the availability of the ingredients, how it looks, how it tastes, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rating. So for the Gold Rush, I'm gonna have to say this is an 8.5. No, 9. This is a 9 out of 10. So I'm not joking when I say every whiskey lover should give this a try. And if you're into cocktails, you should give it a try. Now I know today we went with the classic build, the way they did it at Milk and Honey, but if you like to make your Gold Rushes in a different way, don't forget to let me know down in a comment below, because I love the engagement. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and do all the YouTube stuff, because it helps my channel grow. Anyway, that is it for the Gold Rush. We are now on to the next drink. So until next time, cheers.
Right.